All right, sources tell CBS News that President Trump may sign an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. Now, this move is not imminent, but it does fall in line with DOJ's push to shrink funding for federal agencies. Now, the Department of Education has the smallest staff of all 15 cabinets, but it carries the third largest discretionary budget. The government contributes about 8% to elementary and secondary education here in the U.S. And some of that funding does come from the Department of Education. Popular programs, though, like Head Start and school lunches, are funded by Health and Human Services and the Department of Agriculture. Other programs under the Education Department help economically disadvantaged children and those with special needs. The agency also distributes federal financial aid for education, including college loan programs and Pell Grants. The president wasted no time making changes to the department after taking office. He signed an executive order last week that prioritizes federal funding for school choice programs. That move allows parents to forego their local public schools in favor of vouchers. Now, we do want to point out, much of the directives included in that order can't move forward without approval from Congress. Now, Trump tapped former head of Small Business Administration, Linda McMahon, to run the Department of Education. Her confirmation hearings are on Capitol Hill, and they have not been scheduled yet. McMahon would be tasked with turning around the dark reality among students. Recent reports show 40% of fourth graders did not meet basic reading levels. That marks the highest percentage ever recorded. And breaking just moments ago on Capitol Hill, President Trump's nominee for Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins, has just secured the votes for confirmation. The vote is still open, so it's not final yet, but it's expected that he will be confirmed. Senators, meanwhile, working as fast as possible to get President Trump his full cabinet. Collins, just the latest of nominees to cross that finish line. Later today, we expect a final vote on Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi. Collins will now join the list of nominees who are actively performing their new roles. CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns is live for us at Capitol Hill, following it all for us, and she joins us now. Caitlin, great to see you. Where do we stand on the vote on Pam Bondi later on today?
Well, she is expected eventually to get confirmed. She has consolidated the Republican support around her. And so there are, just questions about when exactly that will happen. You do have Democrats up here on Capitol Hill trying to delay the process for a lot of these nominees in a way to kind of combat and address their disagreements with the administration over pretty much everything, but especially over these latest actions regarding USAID. We'll see whether that has any kind of effect, but by and large, Pam Bondi will be the next Attorney General.
All right, we got to talk about RFK Jr. He just cleared a major hurdle in his confirmation process earlier today after his nomination passed a key committee vote. What's next for him? Is it all but confirmed?
Well, today's vote was so important because Bill Cassidy was that last remaining vote of whether he would actually get through committee. He's a Republican senator from Louisiana. He's also a physician, and during the committee hearings last week expressed some real concerns about Kennedy's past statements on vaccines. And so going into this committee vote, we did not know how Cassidy would vote on Kennedy. He ended up, of course, supporting him. And just over an hour ago, he took to the Senate floor to explain how he got to yes. And I think this is important to kind of understand how he got here. First, he said that he got a commitment from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to go with the regular ways of approving vaccines, not instituting additional parallel structures. He also talked to, in his telling, Kennedy about the importance of vaccines and the importance of the science behind them, and that they do not cause autism, as we heard the president himself trying to suggest. So he also got assurances that they will have what he called a close unprecedentedly close relationship, that he will talk to him several times a month, that he will come before the committee for review and checkups essentially every quarter if they request it. And basically, Cassidy was saying he wants to keep a close eye on Kennedy, but he did get the assurances that he wants. And it was important to note from the floor, Cassidy was making this point about the safety of vaccines. And I think hovering over all of this, the way in which there have been these concerns with this confirmation or impending confirmation about the messages going out to people. He is likely to get confirmed. There could still be holdouts. We're watching Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, those moderate Republicans who tend to go their own way sometimes, so we'll see where they are. Also, Mitch McConnell, who himself is a polio survivor, has been very vocal about the importance of vaccines and critical of some of Kennedy's past statements. We'll watch to see where they go, but the point is that Cassidy's support today really paved the way for Kennedy's confirmation.
All right, CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns. Thanks so much, Caitlin.